Okay, so normally I'd lay this board down the bottom, start with these, lay down on top of it like I'm supposed to. My problem is because of a back injury issue, whatever you want to call it, I can't pick up a solid piece of drywall anymore, drywall or plywood anymore. So I have to figure out a better way I can do it. So I'm going to just tip it down. And hopefully not tear up everything in there. I'm going to set it on these 2x4s for now. And what I went ahead and did, for my own sake, I used a screw and I put it in the 2x4 that's down here. But I got it level at the end. The side, though, is not. It's all over the place. So, it can be done several ways, but it's not going to be straight because the 2x4s are not straight. So I'm going to have to straighten it as I go. And that'll be done by moving the board out a little bit and moving it back in. Right? So it's not ready yet. It's not ready. No, you have to go back. It's not ready. You get back until it's ready. So, to make it easy enough, or simpler, I just fold it out. I do have a square somewhere around here, but I don't know exactly where it is at the moment, so I'll just use a steel board. I know. It's not the best way to do it, but it's not the way I've got. I can't do it right now. I can't just be forward. Glass. It's glass tabletop. Trying to line up stupid 2x4 that's not straight is not an easy task when you got it turn the other way. It's a lot more difficult this way, but it does work. Well, seems to be I've run out of time. Yeah, Dave's live show's on, so I'll stop and watch Dave for a little bit. But lucky for me, I can just stop the video and it'll be like I never really left. Alrighty, I'm gonna go grab some screws. I'll be right back in here in about a day or so. Screws, screws. Alright, where were we? Let's see, we got one here. We need. Okie dokie then. You gonna help? You gonna help? You think you're helping? You think you're helping? Okay, you're gonna help. We're gonna put one right here, okay? I'll try to put some kind of sound on, because I'm sure you don't want to hear all this. So, once I get this set, which should be easy, but unfortunately, it's not near as easy as it seems. All right. And that being that, and the only other thing we need is how much space do we need here? We need 45, 44 and 3/4, which should be about the same on the end. 44 and 3/4. So, how was everybody's day? And all that kind of crap, you know. I said every day. Sorry. everything. I never have quite enough. even though it is not what everyone else does. It's part of the whole factor is you do what you do, and you do it for you. If it's good for everybody else, so I have a twisted 2x4, so I'm gonna have to strip it the best I can. I knew it was twisted when I started. This is where my table kind of came to an end. I wanted to go ahead and get started on it so that, well, one, so I can get it going. Two, so I know what else I'm going to have. So I will tell you, especially if I look at the camera where you can hear me, what I did was a long cut. I worked in contracting for a while, and I can tell you, you can put all these tables up in the world, 4 foot wide, and a brace on this side, brace on that side. That leaves you 44 3/4 in between the insides. Set this going up and down, set directly on 22 and a half, 22 and a quarter, puts it dead in the center, and once it gets mounted with the top, and I put 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 braces across, it'll be a lot stronger than just going cross. You got to kind of figure that the strength going down the side, you're not going to bend that. You're not going to bend this side. You're not going to bend the gaps on the end. So get this one put in place and set. You're balancing a distance of approximately, but not quite 2 feet, which just actually comes out to be about 18. And you're not going to go through that. If I was to turn it over and actually use it for a floor, you would never have to worry about this floor breaking. When you use them all crossways, they're really good and strong, but you're supporting different spots, and nothing gives it the lengthways support. So I start off with the lengthways support. It makes me sweat. I'm going to have to take a break. I'm not supposed to sweat. Once you're disabled and retired, sweating is like a bad word. So I actually have to get more lumber. That's why I hadn't actually done this, because I knew I had enough to frame it and to get the center support put in. I can't mount this center support up to the board until I put in at least two between braces on this side and this side. I may go to 3. I may put 1 down here, but I can tell you, putting 1 any closer than right here to this end is just wasting your lumber, because this is supporting this thing a good ways out. You're not going to bend this corner around that. Now with this in the middle, you're not going to bend this at all. The cross supports are more for just in case if I have to keep tipping the table over on its side to get it out of the way. So I have to wait until I get more lumber, and that's the way it's going to have to be. I do have track though. Here, there's track. Bunch of track. I'd start laying some track down, but I don't really know. I don't know exactly what I'm going for. And I'll tell you, it's been a little bit of a challenge for me, because I got to start with this 4x8, which is not what I wanted to go with, but I have the 4x8. I have the room in here that I got half of that stuff sitting down there at the other end, because there's another opening coming into my living room on this side, and I'm taking everything out that way. I just got to make a spot to get it out of here, and then half of it's going out down to the street for garbage. And that's going to open me up about 12 to 14 more feet that direction. I still have 2 foot to go this direction, but I have another wall. So I got enough room to go build most of what I want to in here. Thanks for like hanging out or whatever, and all those other words and stuff too. I do appreciate if y'all hang out, but I would really like to have done this live. But being that nobody's really used to me doing live, nobody would ever show up for a live because they wouldn't expect it. So we'll see y'all.